Alrighty, we're all set.
Climb speed in a 172?
VX is 65 and VY is 80.
Okay.
Yep. Once I get a little higher above the trailer park, I'll go ahead and retract my flaps and accelerate for 80.
That's a good feeling to have again.
Yeah, it's funny when in the mornings when we're heavy on fuel, you know, we just filled up for the day and everything.
Yeah.
And we take off out of there, we're real heavy, you know, it takes a while for us to climb out and we're buzzing over those trailers, you know, at 20, 30, 40 feet, you know, and we're waking everybody up at 8 a.m.
I imagine this is not quite as responsive as the Bonanza was.
It's a little bit easier to fly almost, a little bit, it's not quite as touchy as Bonanza would be.
Yeah.
And certainly, you know, flying at lower airspeeds, the controls get a little bit mushier, I guess you could say, or you'd have to move the controls further to get a response, whereas a Bonanza at really high speed, tiny little motion really makes the airplane crank over.
Yeah.
But 172 is pretty gentle. I mean, as long as it's smooth out, you know, there's no really bumps. I mean, you don't have to really even fly the airplane, just get it trimmed right,
yeah.
You know, for 80 and just sits there and climbs away. When I'm doing long trips, I'm by myself and, you know, just really kind of lazy. I'll just fly the airplane with my feet, just trim the airplane, let it kind of do its own thing, and use the rudders, just keep the wings level. That way I can try to, like, you know, thumb through a book or, you know, eat breakfast or whatever. Coming up to 1,800 feet, go ahead and reduce your power a bit. Trim us a little nose down, so we'll speed up.
3 Yankee, contact Ann Arbor Tower 120.3. Have a safe flight.
Ann Arbor 20.3, 3 Yankee, talk to you in a bit. Ann Arbor Tower, Skyhawk 153 Yankee, 7 miles to the east. Request Transier Delta over the stadium.
November 153 Yankee, Ann Arbor Tower, approved into Ann Arbor's class Delta airspace, altimeter 3009er.
3009er, 3 Yankee. Alright, I'll have you go ahead and reach forward. You've got the flight controls, airplane's yours. And just like flying the Bonanza, but looking out here, what we really teach is, you know, using the instrument panel here, kind of as your guide against the horizon to tell if you're level or not. You know, and if you see the instrument panel tilting, you just, you know, level it out back to the left. And the more ground you see, you're probably descending. The less ground you see, the more you're climbing, basically.
Makes sense.
Clear to land, runway 66, jet 343 per mile.
The reason is, you know, some people really like to stare at the instruments, and usually people with, you know, a little bit of flight time too, that understand what the instruments mean, they go right to it and start looking at the instruments. And there's always, no matter how good the instruments are, how new they are, there's always a little bit of lag time.
Yeah.
But the nose, if it drops, I mean, you immediately see the drop, and
right.
Then about a second or two later, you'll see this thing start to drop.
That makes
well,
sense.
I mean, if you can catch it right away, you don't lose any altitude. If you wait for that thing, you've already lost 100 feet or whatever it might be.
Right.
So it's all about looking outside, using the instrument panel. Nice thermals today.
Yeah. Good day to get a glider up.
That's actually, that's my other lesson after you canceling, so maybe I'll run down to Adrian and take a glider out. We fly gliders out of there.
Yeah, it's not bad though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, pretty docile airplane.
definitely a little bit, different than what I remember, but it's been so long.
Ever go to any of the Michigan football games?
Yeah, I work not too far from there, so yeah.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I run a martial arts school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. In downtown Ann Arbor, or?
Yeah.
Is it the one off of Packard, or?
Yeah, it
okay,
is.
yep, I've driven by there before, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Ann Arbor. If you look at the runway for Ann Arbor Airport, I'm on the final approach course at 24, about 1 mile out.
Oh, okay.
So everyone's always, going base to final right over my house. I can sit out there, have a beer at 8 o'clock at night, with the little handheld radio, listen to all the airplanes come in on the radio. And
that's nice.
yeah, nice in the summertime.
Really nice. I actually live right on Bemis Road.
Okay.
South of Ypsilanti, so it's a really short drive to get to this airport.
Yep.
Jet 343 Papa, turn left at the end.
Yeah, Bemis, that's the one that's turns into a dirt road.
Yeah.
Yep, coming back. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right literally on the runway, basically.
Yeah. So just take Bemis West and until you hit Whitaker. That's right where I'm at.
Yeah, I hate Bemis Road because that's the whole reason we can't extend the runway longer.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Jet 343 Papa, did you want the terminal ramp or aviation center?
We're trying to figure that out right now. Jet 343 Papa, neither of us have been here in quite a while.
Jet 343 Papa, the aviation center is the building to your head to the right, or the terminal ramp is right beneath the tower.
We see that.
Are you used to all the radio traffic again?
Not much room here.
All the radio traffic?
I haven't heard it in a long time, so.
Yeah. There is, what I have a lot of my students do actually is listen to liveatc.net, and they've got the live traffic feeds. It helps a little bit, and what I usually have to try to do is listen to it, and then think of what the response should be, instantly in their head, and see if that, they'll get an instant feedback that way, if they're right or not.
Good idea to do that. Good practice.
And then we, whenever somebody does buy one of these videos, we just throw it up on YouTube, and we've got a whole list of them, so other people can kind of listen to it, get, a feel for, what the radio work sounds like and all that. We can make a little left turn here. We'll head right to the stadium. Overfly it, take a look down inside there. It's always kind of neat to look down inside from up here.
Yeah, give me one.
So how'd you hear about the flight school?
Well, this has been a goal of mine for a long time, ever since, I first got in the air years ago. And so my wife really got tired of me sitting on the computer and looking up planes. And
yeah, playing Flight Simulator. And
it's really time that you get up in the air again. So she just did this and surprised me with it. And I thought, what a good opportunity to get involved again.
That's awesome. You can track a little bit to the right here, and they'll put the stadium just off your left-hand side. Get a good view of it that way.
Hanover Tower, Cessna 8901, Field to the Northwest Keys.
Cessna 8901, taxi to Northwest Keys via Bravo Charlie, remain this frequency.
Northwest Keys via Bravo Charlie, remain this frequency 8901.
The thing about flying in summertime afternoons is, this isn't bad, the bumps, it's not a concern or anything, but it certainly is bumpier, harder to control. We can just keep making a left turn here.
Okay.
And then we'll do a little loop around the stadium. You can do 20, 30 degrees bank, whatever you're comfortable with. The airplane can more than handle it, so.
Okay.
Yep. You can see as you turn, too, the nose drops a little bit, kind of naturally, so you just pull back to increase the lift. Very good. Flying in the mornings, flying towards the evenings, right around sunset, it's always nice, smooth air, beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll just keep making this left turn here, and we'll roll all the way around to north heading, about another 145 degrees or so.
Okay.
at the cowling in relation to the horizon.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Using that to tell, you know, if I'm climbing or descending.
It is easier to do than trying to read the instrument.
Yeah, no, it is a lot easier, and how precise you can be with it, you're so much more precise. Watching, you know, teaching it to students, you know, to make like steep turns, 45-degree bank turns, and trying to hold the same altitude.
Right.
And watching them do it with the instruments, and watching somebody else just doing it, you know, by looking outside. I mean, way better, you know, looking outside, just much more precise, and always a lot closer to their altitude. Trying to think, Packard runs on an angle.
It does.
Yep, okay, out towards 23.
Kind of the north-south road, kind of.
Yeah. Sure, Yankee, going about a mile or two north here, and then we'll be making a right turn heading southeastbound.
Cessna 3 Yankee, roger.
There's a ton of people out kayaking and staying on paddleboarding today. Have you ever seen those things, the big surfboards that they paddle on?
Yeah. On the Huron, they're out there?
Yeah, and go ahead and make a little right turn here. Holy crap, there's a ton of them. God damn.
Yeah, there are. Wow.
Yeah, they're all going through like the little rapid shoot things.
Yeah. It looks like fun.
Yeah.
Not as fun as this, but...
Go ahead and make a little left 360.
Okay.
Get a good look at them.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It looks like they're lazy as hell. They're all starting upriver and they're just floating down it. Not even freaking paddling. They're just waiting to drift on down. You sign me up for that with a case of beer and a kayak. I'd be all set.
There you go. That'd be fun.
Good reference I use for a 30-degree bank turn is actually the wing strut. Making it parallel with the ground. About 30 degrees from the wing, yeah. So if you see, you know, we get towards 30 degrees there, you'll see that wing strut's just about parallel with the ground.
That's a good tip.
And also it helps you, it gives you something to look at outside the airplane, you know, to kind of keep your eyes outside. That's the biggest, you know, my biggest struggle with students is getting them, you know, encouraging them to look outside.
Huh. People tend to focus here more? Or?
Yeah, you know, the first lesson or two, they're all about being outside, and then as soon as they start to understand what these things mean, they start focusing nothing but inside, you know, and then you gotta usually bring a towel out or something, just cover it up, or some sticky notes, and actually what all the sticky notes in here are from, covering up all the instruments, and we can go ahead and make a little left turn here, and we'll track, we'll just kind of follow the Huron River and track a little eastbound.
Okay.
My sister lives down in Florida, and she just did something like this, like floating down a river in a canoe or whatever. And she was obsessed with alligators, so she went in like a freshwater river. There's tons of alligators on the bank. I was like, that sounds pretty sketchy, Jen. Like, I don't know if I'd want to get that close to them in a canoe of all things, you know? Like, you don't, what are you going to do, smack on the nose with a paddle?
Right.
And she goes, oh, it's fine. It's, you know, no one's ever been attacked, whatever. She did it was fine. And 2 weeks later, some girl got dragged under by a gator, like ripped out of a canoe. I was like, yeah, so about that being all totally fine there, huh?
Yeah. I'd want to stay way away from that.
Yeah.
Planes just sound so much different than...
Yeah. What? Yeah, Bonanza, that's a 6-cylinder. This is a 6-cylinder too, because a lot of the 172s are 4-cylinders. And, you know, they sound a little rougher and there's a little more vibration. This one's pretty smooth.
It is.
You know, with the 6-cylinder in it.
A lot quieter.
It's a lot quieter, yeah.
Runway 6.
Well, I mean, even cruising like here to Florida, you know, a long trip, I throttle way back to save gas.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's almost quiet enough you don't need a headset. I mean, it's still pretty loud without it, but
Yeah.
you got to choose between either having your head in device for 8 hours, being squeezed like crazy, or actually being able to breathe a little bit.
Right.
All right, so there's 23. There's Home Depot, so Packard's just to the south. Let's see if we can find the studio on Packard.
Sure.
Packard goes under 23.
Oh, let's see, this is, this Carpenter Road would be here. That's southbound, right?
Yep.
So, oh boy.
Well, this is 12, or this is Washington Ave. There's Washington, so Packard's got to be the, oh, there's Packard. Yep. There's the studio. That intersection right there off to the right. You can see the Rite Aid corner.
Rite Aid. Oh yeah, that's Packard and Platt right there, so.
Yep.
Field tracker number ground, proceed to northwest, please, via Charlie.
There's Stadium.
There it is right there.
Oh, yep. Sweet.
They just put that new roof on, it looks like. Pretty bad.
Awesome. We can go ahead and keep making the right turn. We'll track eastbound.
Alrighty.
We can pretty much follow Washington all the way out towards Ford Lake there on the right.
Right.
Archer 1-3 uniform, runway 6 clear for the option. After the option, make right traffic.
Cleared for runway 6. Right traffic. 113 uniform.
It's funny the different personalities of the controllers. Some of them are real like loud and like hold the microphone right up to their face and they really hear like that. And then like this woman almost whispers like as if she's in a library. It's funny because I mean it's the same people, you know, every week, you know, so
Right.
same person on Sunday that works, you know, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday or whatever, and you get used to hearing them and you kind of like get to know them and you'll talk to them sometimes, have a little conversation, but you never actually know their name or know their face. It's just like you only know the voice. 3 Yankee, request range change.
Cessna 3 Yankee, frequency change approved. Good day.
Range change approved. 3 Yankee, have a good one. Wheeler Run Tower, Skyhawk 153 Yankee, 6 miles west. Request transit Delta over Belleville Lake before landing Belleville.
3 Yankee, transition 3 class Delta's approved, altimeter 3009er.
Transition approved, 3009er, 3 Yankee. So just getting permission to transit his class Delta airspace, a little circle around him, and then he gives an altimeter reading, and the altimeter readings are required feedbacks just because it's so important to have your altimeter set to the right altimeter setting. Okay. Otherwise, if it was set to say, 0.1 inches off, then it would be 100 feet off. Or,
yeah. That'd be bad.
Yeah, and they they'll tell us, you know, like, oh, climb maintain 2,000 for traffic separation. The other guy's flying 2,500. So you want your altimeter set to the same local altimeter setting, so you actually get the true 500 feet separation. And
Right. How'd you get into this?
I took a few lessons, you know, just to get a private pilot's license. You know, just kind of as a hobby, wanted to do it. And after, you know, 1 or 2 lessons, I was absolutely in love with it. And by the 3rd or 4th lesson, I think I decided I didn't want to be an engineer anymore. I wanted to be a commercial pilot.
Really?
Yep. So I kept going through training, got an instrument rating, got my commercial license, and after that, got the flight instructor certificate. And we started up a flight school down there in Belleville, and it's been going good so far. I just started up this summer, and I just bought this airplane in May.
Wow.
But it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a pretty sweet job to have. You know, this is, I can say, like, this is my office.
Yeah.
You know, like hanging out 1,000 feet above the ground all day.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's also cool, like, to have somebody walk in. You know, like, we've had people walk in here, you know, never touched an airplane before in their life, you know, barely even seen one. They want to be a pilot, hop in, 2-3 months later, you're sending them on their way, and, you know, they're a pilot. You know, they send them out for a check ride, they pass the test, and they got a license, and it's just kind of cool to watch, like, the progression over, you know, a couple months. And
Yeah. Probably a lot of these planes in the market, too.
there actually is. If you buying these planes is not outrageously expensive. Like buying a plane like this is about $40,000. You're buying a Cessna 150, you can buy them for $20,000.
Wow.
You know, it's still, you know, a decent amount of money, but it's, I mean, it's less than a car.
Yeah.
So do you do much traveling at all, or?
No, not really.
No? One of the coolest things, as soon as I got the license, I just started, I moved up to Ann Arbor from Florida.
Okay.
And so I just started kind of exploring Michigan once I got the license, and just flying like Traverse City, flying to Charlottesville, whatever. And it's absolutely, I mean, I had no idea like how cool Michigan was until I actually started flying around it and seeing everything. I mean, there's just so much to do and like so many places to go and visit. But it's kind of, it's a cool way to travel, just like hop in the plane for the day and go up to Boyne for lunch and a little ski trip and then fly on back at the end of the day.
Yeah. Got a 747 down there, little run.
Yeah, that thing's been parked there for like 2 weeks, which is pretty surprising because I mean, an airplane parked on the ground, it's costing a lot of money just to keep it there, and it's not making any money unless it's flying. So
Yeah.
it looked like some sort of Middle Eastern writing on the side of it.
Huh. Pretty strange.
Yeah, they get a lot of that stuff around here. You know, airplanes and aviation in the Middle East is huge just because how much oil money's out there.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of the guys, you know, buy their own 747s and have their own, you know, air cargo line or whatever. And they've got the startup capital to start all these companies, and then they end up, you know, functioning. And they usually hire Western executives to run the company, and they just keep pumping capital into it. And
Yeah. Wow. They allow any general aviation traffic at Willow Run or not anymore?
oh yeah, there's still quite a bit. We actually, with our students, will pop up out of Belleville, and if we want to use a big long runway, we just hop right over here. Kind of the advantage of flying out of Belleville is it's cheap to keep the airplane there. We don't pay all the fees that you would if you were keeping it at Willow Run.
Yeah.
But we still use the airport and use the air traffic services. And we do the same thing in Ann Arbor. We're basically just freeloaders. But it keeps our prices down compared to everybody else, and I mean it's pretty sweet to hop over there and you know use a 7,000 foot long runway.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, they've got Eastern Michigan University that flies out of there, and they've got like 12 172s, all 2014 models.
Wow.
They charge $163 an hour for the plane.
That's kind of expensive.
It's outrageous. I mean, like, getting a private license over there costs $15 grand.
Wow.
And it's just, I mean, it's kind of like, why the hell would you do it? A lot of guys end up either coming over to us for a private or going, you know, to another flight school, getting a private for, you know, $6,000 to $8,000. And then transferring in there, and then doing the rest of their training over there, and they'll allow you to transfer in a private license, so.
Huh. Yeah, had I been thinking more, I probably would have done that. I went to school at Eastern, so.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I mean, you can go to Eastern. All my buddies that did it, they graduated about 100, 120 in debt, you know, going through the aviation program.
Wow.
You can do it all on the side, you know, like using a flight school like us that's based out of a smaller airport, and be done with it for $50,000 or $60,000. Still, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's half the price. I mean, it's another $50,000, you know, that you can use to put a down payment on a house, or
yeah,
buy a house and buy a car or something. But
right.
if you look 12 o'clock there, about 11 o'clock, that's Metro Airport.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Can't miss that one.
Yeah. We can go ahead and make a little left turn here, wrap back around the lake.
Did you find this plane locally, or?
This one actually, we found it in Lansing.
Huh.
I mean, there's airplanes for sale all over the country, and some guys, you know, they'll travel across the country looking for an airplane, but you spend so much money just trying to look for one. I figured, you know, I'd rather pay a little bit more, buy a good one I knew that was good. I watched them do the annual inspection on it, watched them take it all apart, looked inside the wings myself.
Wow.
You know, checked it all out, and knew it was a good airplane. And so we ended up deciding to buy this one, and definitely worked out.
That's good.
A lot better having just fly it 25 minutes home than having to fly it, you know, 2 or 3 days home from California or something like that.
Right.
It's funny, the lake's actually clearing up now because the zebra mussels have bloomed.
Yeah.
They're starting to
9707
filter out the water.
left, taxi via Bravo.
And 3 Yankee, we're heading towards the Belleville Airport. You're going to be proceeding just past it to the west-southwest and then turning back and landing Belleville.
I'm 3 Yankee, I was on coordination line, again.
3 Yankee, we're going to be proceeding towards the Belleville Airport, proceeding just past it, west-southwest, a couple miles, and then turning back and landing Belleville.
3 Yankee, roger, procedures requested, winds at will around 1307, landing will be at your own risk.
3 Yankee, roger. So we can go ahead and hook up with Bemis Road there, that's Rossonville. And just on this side of the junkyard is Bemis, and you live just to the right then, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if we can go find your house.
Alright. Is that auto parts place there?
Yep, that's Fox Auto.
I always forget that's there.
Yeah, it's a great landmark to find Belleville Airport. It's you can see the shiny cars and the reflections coming off the roofs and the windshields from 20 miles out.
Yeah.
So you just look for the shiny glint and then fly towards it, and Belleville's right there.
No. Probably that big sub right down there, actually. Not this one, but...
Okay.
Boy, it's good to get back up here.
Yeah. Yeah, nice day to do it, too.
So is age a factor if you're, you know, thinking about becoming a pilot, and you'd have to worry about that as you...
I mean, younger the better, kind of, but, I mean, it's just, you know, the medical certificates are easier to get when you're younger. You know, if you're, the earliest we recommend people to start training is usually 15.
Wow.
Just because you can't actually get a license until you're 17.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could start when you're 15, kind of stretch it out. Actually getting the private license takes anywhere 2 months to 2 years, depending on how much you space it out. You know, some people say, I want to spread out the cost, I want to do it over a long period of time. You know, or some people just want to hammer it out and get it done. And the shortest I've ever had is 23 days, just 3 weeks about, and it was a long 3 weeks for the guy, but he wanted to do it, and so,
wow.
I tried to talk him out of it, but that's what he wanted to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it worked out for him. He was a good pilot, he caught on quick.
So if you're, you know, under 30, you start your training, and you already have your college degree and stuff, you got to probably work for a regional airline for a while, huh?
Yep, you get the commercial cert, go to the regionals, and you know, I'd say yeah, as long as you get to the regionals by the time you're 35, 37, you're in good shape. If you're past that, then it's not a bad career choice, but you know, the idea is when you're making the serious money, like 150, 200,000 a year at the majors, that's only when you've been there for, you know, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you get a good 25, 30-year career at the airlines.
That makes sense. Well, there I am right down there.
Oh, cool. Let's take a little lap around it.
The roof still looks pretty good. My kid's school is there.
Oh.
Ameristar 97,
Convenient.
7, turn left heading 30.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
Have a safe flight.
Yes, 300, contact departure, Ameristar 9707.
You know, kind of the way I always looked at it is if I ever did decide to go to the airlines, you know, the sooner I could get there, the better. Just because, you know, basically when you're 60, you know, if you lose out on those years of being, you know, 62, 63, making the 250, his last paycheck was $19,500 for the month.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he rubbed in my face. He's like, look what I got. Oh, fuck you. I'll go ahead and take the airplane here. Get us lined up for landing, circle over the field. Check that windsock there. All looks good for runway 15.
Quota 729, runway 5 left,
Get us
to be a
configured.
bottom.
Still full on carburetor heat. Reduce our power to 1500. Hold the altitude here, hold the nose up, get nice and slow, and then drop 10 degrees of flaps. Then we can start descending. Show myself for landing here. Go ahead and pull 30 degrees flaps. And so the first 10 degrees gives us a little extra lift. 20, 30, 40, just a whole lot extra drag so we can descend down a little steeper without picking up any extra speed.
Gotcha.
Quota 729, affirmative.
A little bit of crosswind coming from the left, so once we get a little closer, I'll step on the right rudder to straighten the nose out, and lower the left wing a little bit. I'll help the airplane fly straight down the runway.
Actually not bad for a dress strip.
Yeah, a few little bumps there, but as long as you touch down nice and slow, it's really not too bad at all.
Take a 5 left after takeoff.